Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, and it is a Demetra K podcast. And on this show, we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are a great people, but we can always strive to do better. And so that's what we try to do. We try to bring, different points of views to things that are trending within our community. But most definitely, we like to promote that of emotional intelligence and logic and critical thinking, because unfortunately, that is lacking a lot in our conversations around, social media and in person and everything else in between. And so we like to do that. Emotions are cute when it's called for that, but we as Black people, we need to learn how to set our emotions aside so that we can critically think about things that affect us, so that we can figure out how to be problem solvers instead of, complainers and all that other stuff. And so anyway, today we are going to have a conversation about high value men expectations of, traditional or modern women. And we're going to actually see if any of those ideologies, I guess you could say, actually line up with that of real life. Are any of those things real? And does it really pertain to everybody? I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I'm going to actually bring up that of Jeff Bezos. I saw somebody made a post, and I was like, that's really interesting. So we're going to talk about that. And, me and Donovan will go somewhere else, I'm quite sure, with it. So anyway, Donovan, what say you?
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Demetra K podcast. Glad to have you here. Do us a favor. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Even become a member so you can see Demetra K when she posts some really valid videos. Also, do us a very special favor and check your subscription if you've subscribed to Demetra K's channel, because YouTube does desubscribe people if you're not paying attention. So if you're not getting notifications of Demetra's shows, it's probably because you've been desubscribed. So just hit that like button again, and we'll get you back signed up. And do us a favor. Like I said, if you feel the need, we have a PayPal, Venmo, all the good stuff that you need to do to help make the show go a little far. This is going to be an interesting topic. I'm going to do the best I can to stand up for the Manosphere, and we'll see how it goes. So let's get into it.
Did you eat your Wheaties this morning, brother?
Matter of fact, I had 2 bowls of Raisin Bran.
So you're going to be soft today. Got you. Because you know what Raisin Bran does to you is like, that's why I don't eat it.
but I need the fiber, so.
Yeah, you're getting up there, buddy. You're getting up there. All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this conversation. And once again, y'all, thank y'all for being here. Of course, I should say that we are not live, because somebody got really mad at me one day and thought that I was not responding to their comment. And, it's all good, but we're not live. So I just want y'all to know that. So anyway, I'm going to add this to the stream. So as y'all can see there, that is Jeff Bezos, along with his girlfriend. Oh gosh, what is her name? I just slipped my mind. Lauren. She's a newscaster in California. She used to be. Lauren Sanchez. Oh,
Lauren Sanchez. Yep. Lauren Sanchez. Jackpot. Lauren Jackpot Sanchez.
Lauren Sanchez. Okay, Lauren Sanchez was a newscaster in California, I think Channel 11, Fox News to be exact. So that is that of Jeff Bezos. Of course, you guys know him. He is the richest man in the world, and he owns Amazon and everything else you can think of, right? Very wealthy individual, okay? So I saw something on Facebook, and I was like, you know what? That would be an interesting topic for Donovan and I to discuss, because it kind of really, debunks a lot of things that we hear. So let me get to it. It's written by somebody on Facebook by the name of Connie Lauren Comer, okay? And she is in a picture with her husband. So I just want y'all to say that, to know that. She says, I know when it comes to women in general, we can be very vulnerable to limitations, but when it comes to Black women, woo, child, we have a lot of subconscious negative program that is exclusive to us. Jeff Bezos is the second richest man in the world. I don't know who the first one would be, but I thought it was him. Jeff Bezos is the second richest man in the world. His current girlfriend is 52 years old. Write these things down, Donovan. Okay, these talking points. She's 52 years old. Okay. She has a child from her first fiance that ended in a broken engagement. She was a single mom, never married. She then got married to one of the top Hollywood agents in the world, and they had a kid. And then she divorced him. She began dating Bezos. She's officially a single mom of 2 kids by 2 different baby daddies. As a Christian Roman Catholic woman, I am in no way, shape, or form telling you to drop kids out of your womb like mangoes when they are ripe and fall out of the tree. But this is madness. In a world that is highly over-sexualized and most men expect sex during relationships, I am at loss why so many men are shocked when women are having babies. What do we think comes out of vaginas? Skittles? Again, I strongly coach women to wait to have sex until marriage and don't have kids with someone you are not married to. This is per my faith. But I am not going to gaslight women and pretend that men are upholding those virtues. 99% of modern dating is trying to get you into bed. So I'm not going to gas you. Of course, waiting and having babies with your husband is the right way, but people get divorced, situations happen, shit happens, I get it. But this extreme and ridiculous mantra that a man of value won't want a woman with kids if they have options. Are you telling me Jeff don't got options? He could be with a super hot 21-year-old or don't date a woman past 25 like Leonardo DiCaprio. But as the second, and I think he's the first, I could be wrong, richest man in the world, he saw the value in this woman and is rocking with her. You can transform your life just like any part of your life. Don't let other people's expectation become your limitations. Don't let people whose main goal to put you down be the ones you seek for self-validation. Mic drop. Bam. Donovan, what say you?
Okay. She said a lot of stuff there. Now, notice the key word.
I want y'all to see just real quick just how happy Jeff is. He's Right. Absolutely. She's probably doing stuff to him that he's never done. His ex-wife would never do. You know, you never know. But the key word in what you were saying is men that have money, even women that have money, have options. Oprah has money, right? She has options. She doesn't have to get married if she doesn't want to. She has a man living in her pool house for years. What's his name? Dexter. Ooh. What's that guy she was engaged to for years and years and years? Oprah?
Yeah, Oprah.
Stedman, they're still together.
I know. He's in the pool house at her estate living out over there. But you know what I'm getting at. You kind of understand what I'm getting at. She has options, whatever. Now, nobody said that, you know, and that's what I hate when people take stuff literally. When somebody says something like, let's say Kevin Samuels stuff, it is true. When you do have money and you're a man or a woman, you have options. Now, nobody said that Jeff Bezos couldn't date a 21-year-old. Damn, he could probably date an 18-year-old if he wanted to. But it's about what makes you happy. And his options say, this woman makes me happy. So Jeff Bezos, go ahead and be happy. Yeah, she has 2 kids by 2 different baby daddies. There's nothing wrong with that. He has options because he has financial stability and he's probably a good dude or whatever the situation is. So a lot of people take that out of context. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you're a woman. If you are financially stable, and there are a lot of cougars out there, they have options. That's just how it is. And it isn't the stigma of baby mama, this, that. I think what everybody gets thrown out of the proportion is how Ronald Reagan used the welfare queen to show that that's the problem with public funding and funding all these programs. But yet we're finding out over and over again, Donald Trump, Brett Favre, all of these people that have money are the main culprits of stealing public funds. They're the main culprits. So my point, getting back to what this whole thing is, Jeff Bezos, if that makes you happy, be happy, my brother, be happy. But this stigma of, you know, the baby mamas and stuff like that, I think that is more when they're talking about, you know, people who aren't in the economic realm to take care of those babies. That's what I think they're doing. It doesn't mean it's right. I'm just saying that's when the criticism comes in to those that are having multiple children that they can't take care of.
Are you done or is you finished? Because I heard you say a whole lot of stuff, but listen, this is what I want y'all to do.
You said stuff. You meant shit. No, go ahead.
Because I don't want y'all to do this, okay? And listen, I know some people say, oh, she bashing the Manosphere. I just want to be clear, too, that I do not subscribe to whatever the divestors talk about. I don't subscribe to any of it at all. Y'all ain't speaking for me in the Manosphere or the divestors at all. I love black men, always will, to the day I die. Just want to put that out there. But y'all in the Manosphere say all of what this lady essentially did was debunk y'all talking points, because I often hear, especially you, Donovan, keep it real, okay? That, oh, you know, the women are hitting the wall. Now, I know, I guess that's in relation to people having babies, but, oh, no man want to be with a woman, not you specifically, but I do hear it a lot. No man want to be with a woman with baby daddies and she this, that, and the other. And, you know, I often hear people say, get you a younger woman, you can mold her and shape her and things like that. And high value men are going to want to be with somebody who's younger, blah, 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 right? But to this lady's point, Lauren is 52 years old, okay, with 2 baby daddies, 2 kids. I don't even know if they're 18, maybe one is, I don't know. So, you know, but Jeff Bezos, like you said, who has all these options, can you know, be whoever he wants. He chose to be with her. But you often hear a lot of men who don't got one million drop of money that he has, talking about, I ain't trying to be with no single mama. I ain't trying to do this. Don't give it to a single mama. Don't do this, that, and the other. But it's like, y'all ain't got Jeff Bezos' money to even be acting like y'all got options like that at all. So it's like, my thing is, I would prefer y'all just keep it real. Don't waffle. Don't waffle and say, well, you know, he can do what he wants. But then on one hand, y'all talk about how, you know, that no man with high value should even be dating a single baby mama and all. And I mean, not even a man with high value, but just regular men shouldn't be dating a single baby mama. But the problem I have with that too is y'all don't even talk about the women y'all making single baby mamas.
Okay, I took some notes here. Now, here's one thing that you said about men. Okay, I don't know if you understand this. There are 2 sides of men, just like there are multiple sides of women, right? Now, the men that you're talking about, the ones that have no money, are out in the streets, are playing the bullshit short game and doing all that other stuff, those are delusional. Those are totally delusional men. Okay, the men that I'm talking about are the men like myself. I'm not wealthy or anything, but I'm financially stable to where I can go out and be selective about what I want. I've raised my children. I've done what I have to do. Now, most of the women that I encounter, they do have children already. Some of them, a majority of them are grandmothers at this point. Right? So the point is, it's funny how a lot of women in the women's sphere, it's crazy to me that you guys only hear certain points. Why would you listen to a guy off the street that ain't taking care of his responsibilities, that come on a show and he's like, oh yeah, the women are doing this and that? Who's listening to that guy? Who's listening to him? Think about it. Who is listening to that guy? Right? So I mean, like the many assets of women, there are a lot of good women out there. Everybody makes mistakes, but everybody has options. And that's what I'm speaking for me as a man. A lot of you women are not listening to the men that are actually handling their business. It's statistically already been proven. You women, and not all you women, but this is what they're saying, 20% of the black men are having children with all of you women. The majority, 20%. That's a statistical fact. 50% of all black men don't have children. So, you know, I hear what you're saying. Excuse me, my voice is going out. I hear what you're saying, but it's like, what dude would are you guys talking about? You're talking about Ray Ray and Pookie. No, we're talking about real men. We're talking about men that take care of their responsibilities. Go ahead.
First of all, yeah, we gonna throw Ray Ray and Pookie and them up there too. But it's a lot of y'all on the Manosphere that claim not to be Ray Ray and Pookie, rattling off the same old talking points about not dating baby mamas or single mothers and all that other stuff. So nah, it ain't just Ray Ray and Pookie. I would venture to say it's probably more of these, self-proclaimed I'm doing all right men than it is the Ray Ray and Pookies with all this nonsense you got going on about not, marrying single baby mamas. And listen, you don't want to marry a single baby mama. That's your business. Ain't nobody going to make you do that, but just keep it real. Like, I would venture to say, no, I ain't going to say it because I don't want to get myself in trouble. But I would just say, and I've said this to you before, there's this Manosphere and there's the Divester sphere. I guess I don't know if they actually have a name, but the Manosphere who was pro-man, I am man, hear me roar. Then you got the Divesters, I'm not trying to be with black men. I guess that's their mantra. But then there's those that are I don't even know if we're in the middle. We're not involved in that at all. That's y'all, the Manosphere.
That's my point. We're not involved at all. There's a group of people that is not involved at all.
You're in the Manosphere, brother. Don't lie.
I'm not in the Manosphere. No, I'm not.
I will intertwine into this video, okay, clips of you saying that you are sticking up for the Manosphere.
No, what I'm saying is I'm sticking up for men. I'm not going to sit here and let men be torn down, just like you wouldn't sit here and let women be torn down. That's what I'm saying. I don't stand up for the BS Manosphere, what they're talking this.
So you're not in the Manosphere anymore.
No, I've never been in the Manosphere. What I'm saying is I'm not going to sit there and as a man and be disrespected because I'm still a man. That's what I'm saying. Just like you wouldn't let me sit up here and talk about bees and hoes and, all this disrespectful stuff to women. And I wouldn't do that. But because you're still a woman, see what I'm saying? I'm going to be respectful because you're still a woman and women deserve to be respected. At the same time, I, as a man, need to stand up when I feel men are being disrespected.
Those y'all watching this, y'all seen Donovan long enough. I want you to put in the comment section, yes, I have heard this Negro at one point in time say that he was in the Manosphere and that he got the ride for the Manosphere and all of that. I want you, because I know I ain't crazy.
No. Okay, if I said that, what I basically, let me clarify, what I mean is I'm going to stand up for men when men are being disrespected. I'm not going to stand up for the Manosphere when they're doing the BS and the bullshit. I'm not doing it.
Right now, are you saying that you are not officially on record in the Manosphere?
No, I'm not in the Manosphere. I'm on something totally different.
What's that?
I'm a man of my own self, standing for what I think is right.
Got you. So like I was saying, there's the Manosphere and then there's the Divesters, and there's some of us a lot of us, I would say, because I don't think it's the majority of black men and women that are in these groups. There's some of us who like, well, neither one of y'all speaking to me and you ain't speaking for me, right? And so I think we need to be very clear about that for whatever reason, you got this Manosphere and this Divester people, whatever, they are just unhappy with one another. That's their thing. That ain't got nothing to do with us. And
yeah, we're at this point, we're too old. I mean, I'm not saying we can't be in it, but at 50-something, 2 years old, I'm too old to be playing this BS stuff that's going on.
Yeah, and then to her point, she was saying, like, why are we letting people define, not me, them, why are we letting people define what standards we should go by? Because I don't listen to, but I hear the Manosphere talking points, and I hear of some of the Divestors talking points, and I'm saying I hear of some because I don't follow either one. I just want to make that clear. And I'm like, well, none of that applies to me. Like you hear, like the black women that are divesting say, oh, black men ain't just that and the other and blah, blah. I don't believe that at all. I feel sorry for those women, actually, because it's like you're applying the ideology of the men that you have dealt with to all men. But logically speaking, you can't apply that because you haven't been with all black men. So to try to paint black men with one broad stroke, that's kind of, you can't do that because it doesn't make sense. And then, with the Manosphere, basically saying that some women are washed up, because that actually came from that of the late Kevin Samuels. Basically, after 35 years old, you are a leftover woman. And of course, you know, he said that came from a Japanese culture or whatever. But yet you have a lot of these men run around saying, oh, you washed up, you 35, you washed up, says the man who was probably 52 years old himself, you know, telling a woman she washed up. And so I love what she said, and that ain't for us. That is for the people who want to play those gender wars and divide each other and all of that. Because my thing is, and I always say this when I talk about the manosphere, especially because maybe I should delve into the divester sphere. You know, I know if I want to, but nobody's begging y'all to stay. Either you want to go get a passport, or you want to watch you see yourself over somewhere else to find you a woman. You should do that, because I am a firm believer in that everybody on this planet should go do what makes them happy, whatever that is. I don't have to like it, because I don't live your life. And if you can't find peace with a sister, then go find peace with whoever you think you can find that. Just like I say to the Black women, if you feel like you can't find peace with a brother, then go do that. But for me, neither one of those ill-informed groups, yes, I said it, neither one of those ill-informed groups speaks for me, because I know that I don't, none of those rules apply to me. I'm over 35. Obviously, I'm far from washed up, boo-boo. I got it going on a lot better than a lot of 35-year-old women do, okay? There's a lot of things I can still do. So I'll leave that alone. But
I think they outlawed a lot of stuff that you can still do.
Listen, okay, and you want to talk about physically, I can outrun a lot of these 25, 35, 45-year-old women without even breathing hard. So point that I'm making is, washed up is a state of mind, but don't allow somebody else to put that on you. Are you a leftover woman? Who are you?
See now when you bring up those tropes, leftover women and stuff, only immature people would go to those tropes to describe another group of people, whatever the deal. Like you said, who are they to say that? I mean, that's what kids do. That's why I'm saying, as a man, I am a man, but I'm not in the manosphere. Okay, I'm not going to let men be disrespected. I'm not going to let women be disrespected in the regards of disrespect. That's a young person's game, and that's what I'm saying. As older people, and it's so sad that us, as well, at least me, because you're just over 35. An older person like myself and other groups like me, people that are in my age group, we fall into that argument when that's a young person's argument. I am way past all this finding somebody. My kids are grown. I have grown children. I have a 30-year-old son and a 25-year-old. That is way past my pay grade for me to be getting into the manosphere, divester wars and stuff like that. That foolishness that's going on is between that generation of people. And I just think it's what we should do. And we talked about this earlier and even yesterday, or the day before yesterday. We should do as older people is not remain silent. What you're doing and things that you're doing today, that you're exposing and showing people, we need each other at the end of the day. And that's what these younger people need to understand. If going overseas makes you happy, then go right ahead on, brother, and you go right on ahead and do that. If you women want to sit here and call these men names and all this other stuff, for every action, there's a reaction. If you sisters want to divest, and if that makes you happy, sister, go on ahead and do that, because it doesn't affect me and who I love and who I like. And that's, as older people, what we should be telling these younger people. Stop with the BS. Go out there and find you somebody that's going to make you happy. But to keep blaming the man is at the fault, the woman's at the fault, this is at the fault, it ain't productive. It ain't productive at all.
You follow Kevin Samuels, did you not?
Not follow Kevin Samuels. I watched his show.
Did you agree with some of the things?
I agreed with a lot of the things he said.
Would you agree that Kevin Samuels was between 52, 57, depending on who you ask? Because it's
he's in my age range, right?
Yes.
You youngsters, you wouldn't understand that. But go ahead.
Okay, so you just said that that's a young man's game.
Yeah.
Would you say that 52 to 57 is young in regards to what you were describing?
No.
So do remember Kevin Samuels saying a lot of those things as far as a woman's 35-year-old, she's left over and nobody.
Well, yes, okay. Now 35. Now I lived in Japan. That is true. That is a saying that they do over there in the Orient, right?
So who was he talking to?
Could you clarify that a little bit better?
Who was his audience?
His audience were, I would believe, looking at his audience, he initially started with black men, then he switched to black women.
But who you think mostly black men from all age groups followed him?
No, hell no.
Yes, they did.
Well, wait. Say that again. Like, what are you saying?
All age groups, would you agree that they followed Kevin Samuels?
From all age groups, yeah. I guess he would. You could say. I guess
the point that I'm making is that and I listen to Kevin Samuels every once in a while. I've been very clear about that. A lot of things I didn't agree with, but a lot of things I did agree with. But those were his talking points.
Okay.
So he wasn't talking to just young men. He was talking to all men. So I guess what I'm saying is that message has been spewed to a lot of men.
Wait. Let me cut you off. Wait. You're saying that he's talking to all men when he switched from targeting men specifically? To me, when I was watching the show, it seemed like he was talking to women because the women were the ones that called into the show.
He was talking about women, but he was talking to the brothers or men.
I didn't get that at all. I didn't, seriously, because the women
heard him say, see, men, this is what I'm talking about. See, men, that get you a woman who blah blah.
Yeah. I saw that, but okay, wait. So you're basically saying because Kevin Samuels said whatever he's saying to whatever group, because like I said, see how the difference is? I'm a man and I'm thinking he's talking to women. You're saying he's talking to men. We have a different perspective of that. So let's say I'm a doctor, not that Kevin Samuels is a doctor. So what difference does it make if a doctor is a doctor? And would you say a doctor treats all ages of people, men and women?
Let my brain catch up to all that you just said. Basically, what I said, because I can't follow what you said. But what I'm saying is that he was talking to women on the phone or on the computer.
Yeah.
But he was talking about women, and he was actually using the women as subjects for his audience of men.
I didn't get that, but go ahead.
That's exactly what he was doing.
That ain't how I interpreted it. But go ahead.
So you interpret it as he was trying to help men or women?
Women. When he first started the show, he was specifically to men. Then to me, that followed the show, he shifted to women.
Okay. So I guess the point that I'm making is, it's not a young man's game that he was hustling. Or I don't want to say hustling because that's probably not the right word, but it wasn't a man's game that he was trying to teach you all. It was a man in general, because he put age on men depending on certain subjects, but with women, it was an all or nothing type of thing. Once you hit this age, you hit the wall and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. So I say all that to say, it was a lot of men he was talking to. The age group was very vast and he was talking to. But I want to say this, because, my daughter, she's old enough. And per that standard, she would be close to the wall, okay? But my daughter, she's single. She doesn't have any kids or anything like that. But I would say, as for me as her mother, who have gone through, some things in relationship world, I just think that I've taught her to, and I don't want to use the word settle, because a lot of times when we use the word settle, we think, I don't want to be with a man who just, I'm talking about settling.
The way you sound, but go ahead.
Not settling for the nonsense. So what do I mean, the nonsense? When you entertain me, and I'm just saying in general, as a woman, when a man entertains me, and I've told you that I'm looking for somebody who ain't attached to somebody, don't try to keep getting in a relationship with me and you got a whole wife and child at the damn house. You know what I mean? Don't try to entertain me if you on games or whatever. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's women like my daughter who are just like, I'm not checking out of the relationship or dating world, but I'm just not going to check into the dating world to deal with foolishness. Just like if I had a son and I got nephews, I would tell them the same thing. Don't date women who are foolish and who are not honest and who have a lot of things going on. Now, that is my niece and nephews and my daughter, they're, in their late 20s, 30, But that's true for a lot of older people. There's a lot of older people who are like, man, I tried to date this woman and she didn't tell me she had all this going on. I really liked her. Or, he didn't tell me he had all of that going on. I really liked him, even though I told him, don't bring no madness to me. I don't want to date nobody who's got a woman. I don't want to date nobody who, kids is one. Like me at my age, no, I don't want to date no man who got some little kids. Because I'm almost, I'll be 52, next year. Right. I ain't trying to be chasing around, little juniors and them. Because like you said, we should be at the point to where we are dealing with grandchildren. We're not, but we should be. So I'm one of those women at that age, and I don't want to date nobody with little kids. I'm just gonna keep it real.
You got to deal with the mamas.
All of that. I'm too old for that. I need to be with my silver fox boo thing. We taking a Sunday drive without looking and making sure the car seat is buckled. You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm saying is, if all ages are dealing with the tomfoolery of relationship world, and some people like my daughter just like, well, until somebody come along that's gonna act like he got some sense and treat me like I want to be treated, and I'll be lying and sneaking around, then I'm just gonna be sitting here cute by myself.
I'm with her. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting around cute, waiting for my thing out there, but I'm putting myself in positions to where I can, you can't fish if you don't have the right bait and you're not fishing at the right fishing hole. You know what I mean? It's like I tell you, Demetra, all the time. You can't sit up in the house all day and expect somebody to find you. That's not going to happen. Okay. So, get out there and, be seen at least, so that somebody who might want to be interested in you wants to talk to you. But yeah, right there proves my point. And this is the problem I have with a lot of women in regards to interpreting things. You can interpret something, let's say an accident, and they say that all the time as an example. You see it one way, and then I see it another way. And this is the problem when like a man sees something totally different. And I'm not blaming you, Demetra, but it's just human nature that happens. People automatically assume, oh, well, you should see it the way I see it, and you're going to force your, no. I'm just saying, and as an example, a lot of people get into that. And, when I talk to friends or whatever, because I have a totally different experience. It's like when I hear people say, how it is in the hood. No, I don't know how it is in the hood. I don't, because I didn't experience that. Demetra, you didn't experience that. So I don't have a concept of how the hood would go or whatever. So, my interpretation of a Kevin Samuels or a Cynthia G, right? I've seen a couple of Cynthia G's shows. Man bashing, that's my interpretation. But there are some women that'll tell me, no, she ain't man bashing. She's just telling you the truth about men and that. Okay, and I never tell people they're wrong when if that's their interpretation. But my interpretation is that's a straight man bashing show, which is fine. Some women say that Kevin Samuels is a woman bashing show. Fine. I'm not here to try to change anybody's mind. I'm definitely not going to do that, especially if you've seen the show. My problem is the people that haven't seen the shows that have an opinion on something that they've never really saw or experienced.
Yeah. And also I never grew up in the hood, but trust me, I've been in the hood. My daddy's shop was smack dab in the middle of South Central. So, we hung out there quite a bit.
I have relatives from there, so I ain't saying that I don't know it, but that trope of, all Black people come from impoverished beginnings, that's not true.
Yeah, well, no, we know that is not true. Yeah, I mean, as far as Cynthia G is concerned, I honestly, I think the time or two that I tried to watch her just out of curiosity to see what her deal was, and I recently saw what she was about when she did the show with Dr. Umar. I think it was on Fox Soul or whatever it was. And they had the trans woman, I hope I'm saying that right, on there. That's the kind of the only opportunity I had to really see and hear how she thinks. And I'm just going to keep it real with you. Nothing about me would even want to watch or listen to her. She sounds very sick. and misguided and hateful. And I don't know why any woman in her right mind, now, because y'all hear me say that a lot about the right mind. I mean, right mind is, you're well, obviously, and that you are able to critically think for yourself. I'm one of those type of people. I don't like toxic information going into my body, my brain, or anything like that. So I couldn't imagine listening to her for longer than I had to. Like one other time I went to her channel because I'm like, what is she about? And I'm like, it's just toxic. I mean, even Tanya TKO, she's a toxic individual. And I'm sad in that they have large audiences of women who believe what they're saying. And it's like, I think we in this realm of social media and these platforms got to understand that there's a lot of people who will do and say things for the bag. There's a lot of on both sides of Manosphere, because I see a lot of extreme stuff over there. And as far as divesters, again, I don't follow them much because I'm not one. But they are going to say and do whatever they need to do to get people to smash the like button, to become members, to donate, because that's how a lot of those people eat. Now, I am a consultant and I do other things for money. And I want to just put this out there to a lot of people. YouTube does not pay my bills. And I want to be clear about that, because I think when people who get on this platform and YouTube or any type of social media specifically pays their bills, they are going to be compromised eventually. So what I mean by that is, if I see my numbers, and as a YouTube, content creator, you see your numbers and how much you're getting paid. And trust me, it ain't much on this channel. I'm just keeping it real with you, okay? But you see what you're getting paid, and let's say that is how you eat, you're gonna be like, okay, I need to make some adjustments. What is everybody else talking about that's really getting the views? Okay, we, crapping on black men today. Well, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, okay, we talking about black women. Well, that's what I'm going to do. And so I just want y'all to know that your favorite YouTuber, that's all black men ain't this, or black women ain't that. They doing all that really, and they might believe that to some degree, but they believe it even more because they know the more they believe it, the more views they get and the more money they get. And so I say that to say, a lot of y'all are probably really being duped by some dude or woman, because on the internet, you could be anything you want to be. There's a lot of great actors and actresses that get on here, yes, every day. And they are this caricature, if you will. Not anybody who know me will tell you Demetra is this way on this thing and off this thing, okay? But there's a lot of people who are not. They put on their face and they're acting geared to get on here and sell you something that they don't even believe. So I'm just telling y'all, be cautious.
Yeah, it's about getting the bag. How many times have we said on this show several times, if we would change our format, our numbers would skyrocket. If you would wear a certain outfit and, do, certain outlandish things, if you put on some batwing eyelashes and stuff and kind of, jizz it up a little bit, our numbers would go up. It technically would, because like you said, the internet, you could be anything you want to be. And it's just so sad in regards to that. But in regards to Jeff Bezos and people having options, I believe everybody has options in some form or another. It doesn't necessarily have to be money. You got some really handsome men out there because they're very handsome. A lot of women are attracted to them, and so they have options to pick between this, and that. But at the end of the day, be it a man or a woman, I honestly believe women have a lot of options, because guess what? As men, we try to get with you guys to have sex with you, right? So the fact of the matter is, women control sex. They don't control the relationship, they control the sex. So women actually choose who they lay down with. And a lot of women have a lot of options. Now, tell me I'm wrong on that part.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's why, for the life of me, I don't understand why women just give it away like they trick-or-treating some damn where. They are trick-or-treaters is coming to their door and they just giving it away like candy. I never understood that, because that is, my good friend, Ed, he said something to me a couple of months ago, and I just bust up laughing, because never thought about it this way. He says, my dad told me that if it wasn't for you women having, vaginas, for lack of better words, he said, we take you out of here. He says, that's the only reason why we keep y'all around. For the most part, right? Because
he's absolutely right. I honestly, that's, our animalistic instinct. That's the only reason we keep you around.
Right. So with that ideology, and I thought about it, it's like, damn, there's a lot of truth to that. Now, maybe not for all men, but, just kind of thinking about it. So the point that I'm making with even bringing that up is, men obviously see it as a hot commodity because y'all do a lot of strange things for the cat. Y'all do, and so it's like, if we as women would realize that and say, this is valuable, not even just the act, because the act is one thing, but after the act, the woman is the receiver, the man is the giver. So we are left with a whole host of things to carry. And so you would think, and I'm not shaming anybody, body count, shaming people. If you do what you do with your body is your business. But I'm just saying, for me, I just never understood it. And I'm sorry, you guys, if I might be freezing up, but I know y'all can hear me. I just never understood giving away your body. And then you giving it away for nothing. And then when you give it away, sometimes you stuck with a baby by somebody who was just like, well, I wasn't just having fun with you. I wasn't trying to become no daddy. And then you left raising the responsibility, all because you could have just said, as I always tell people, that before you lay down with somebody, and I say this to men and women, okay? Because I got caught once, okay? Before you lay down with somebody, you need to ask yourself a few questions. Do I want to spend 18 to 20 something and even life in some cases with this person? And because you're going to have to raise a child, or do I see this person as being a mate for myself? For whatever reason, we get stuck together. And if you answer no to any of those, and men, do I want to pay child support for 22 years? Because, a lot of times when the kid go to college, you got to pay. If you answer to no to any one of those, get your ass up, pull your pants up, pull your dress down, and say, you know what? While I'm hot and bothered, and I'm sure you're going to give me the best 2 minutes I've ever had, I ain't really, wanting to risk being tied with you. Because for one, I don't know you. Because we really, like, a lot of times we have gotten in relationships with people, jumped in the bed, and then was like, I didn't know he was going to do that. Oh, I didn't know.
What do they call them? Situationships now or something like that?
Yeah, but in situationships, it's just supposed to be a situation temporarily. You ain't supposed to get caught up. But the point that I'm making is, like, know who you laying down with. Ask, even if you don't know that person, say, would I want to be tied to that person financially or physically because we got a kid for, life, or 18 to 24 years? No, then I'm good. I don't want to do that with you.
The funny things you bring that up. I had a friend. He had this bad chick. I mean, she was from the Midwest somewhere. I think Iowa. Beautiful black girl, dark skin, just beautiful, right? And they had a baby and stuff, and got situated. They got married and stuff like that, right? But when she had the baby, and sometimes, gentlemen, when women have babies, it warps them in their shape, and some of them can't bounce back, and they can't do certain things. So basically, she took a big L after she had her baby, right? And she had the stomach thing, and men are visual creatures, and because of the fact that she couldn't get rid of that thing without major surgery. Remember, when they had their kids, they were fairly young, so they didn't have money to go do that surgery type situation.
You talking about the fupa, the hanging?
Yeah, whatever it was, but this was excessive for her. It was really bad. But she used to be a bad chick. This fool left his woman because she wasn't the way she used to be. And this is the type of foolishness that, I talk about and you talk about in regards to relationships and things like that. Yeah, she looks good. You want to go ahead and then you finally damage her, by getting her pregnant. There's no guarantee she's going to snap back like some of these girls do and all this other stuff like that. Having a baby is a big thing, depending on, if you're a big dude, here's a girl that's 5'2", 102 pounds, and she's got a, 38-pound baby that's stretching her skin, way out of the proportion. And, so whenever I talk to him, he's always talking about how she used to be. And I was like, yeah, you're looking at the physical, but her mental, she's the sweetest girl you would ever have. But because her body just, what do you call it? It isn't dysmorphia, but her body changed. His stupid ass is judging all on the physical. And ever since he did that and he got in other relationships, it's been hell for him in child support payments, just dropping babies all over the place, when he could have been with this very sweet young woman that was, when the lights go out, she could be anything you want her to be, every time I think of her when she was 19 and this fine little thing. And, she still looks pretty decent as an older woman too, but that shows you the stupidity of some men and what we're dealing with currently with these younger group of men. The foolishness, I don't know what it is, but it's almost like they have female traits that aren't good. There's a lot of good female traits. My mom was a widowed mother, and she gave me a lot of game. I'm good at financing because of her. A lot of what I am is because of my mom. So, but some of these guys have picked up these female traits to where it's like, the bad part of female traits. It's just sad.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad you brought that up. That's a good conversation to have as far as, women's bodies, if you will. Things happen to your body when you have a baby. And I'm speaking from a woman who's had a baby. When I was 19, I had my daughter when I was 21. But before that, I had it going on. Shit, I still got it going on. Okay, now I don't have it going on like I did when I was a kid, because essentially I was a kid at 21. But gravity is going to have it say so, okay? Because on men, y'all stuff ain't up where it was either. It's they hanging and dangling and swangling, But some of y'all sit down wrong. You're like, oh, I settled.
Ouch.
So some of y'all booties is sagging. It's so sad.
The beer bellies, all this craziness.
So as a woman that has a baby and it had a baby, your body ain't gonna be tight the way it was. You're gonna have stretch marks and things that go on, but that's nature. That's what happens to a woman's body. But it takes a level of maturity from a man. And then you know what, Donovan, I hate to say this, it ain't just the young men that think that way. It's the older Negroes too, running around talking about a woman's body got to be this, that, the other. It's like, dude, you ain't seen the shadow of your feet or your damn lane in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? But you're talking about how a woman's body needs to look to you, but that's also the effect of Instagram models. Or back in our day, it was the magazine models. Of course, they airbrush them and all
Players, Players and Hustler and all that stuff.
Those women were airbrushed, but if you see them at, Kroger's or Ralph's or whatever, they got, the bullet holes in their legs too, cellulite. But the point that I'm making is I think it takes a level of maturity. Like there's some women, believe it or not, like I ain't talking to no man that ain't got his hair, or I don't want to deal with a man that's balding. It's like, well, what you think? When you get up there, men lose their hair. But again, that takes a level of maturity, which is why now you see a lot of men getting the lace fronts and the wigs and stuff. They call them toupees back in the day, but they getting them more high tech to reflect that of real hair, because they are also a lot of it too may be for a man. Vanity, I want to hold on to or try to get back my youth or whatever. But some of that is, these women want to do with a full head of hair. So they are trying to assimilate to something they were 20 years ago. But we got to be mature in our thinking, because men who say, I don't, and it's your preference. Listen, I'm not trying to change your mind. But men who say, I don't want to be with a woman because she got stretch marks, or her stomach ain't flat, or she don't got this big old giant pumpkin booty following her everywhere she go. Yeah. Say you don't want to be with a woman like that. That's immature. And you may be passing over a good woman just like the same thing as a woman that would say that to a man, or I don't like that donut, that hole in the front, and top of his head.
The Friar Tuck look. That's very popular. Friar Tuck is very popular.
Yeah, I love that George Jefferson. So you might be passing up a good man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's funny that you bring that point up, because I've talked to a lot of young women. They say, "Where are the good men at? There ain't no good men out here." Yes, there is. That brother that was working at McDonald's, you didn't want him because he didn't have the swag. The brother that, he just had regular clothes on. Oh, he didn't have the, the gold and the Air Jordans on. That was a good dude. The guy that's in college right now, that's in there in the cafeteria studying in his books and working part-time at the Amazon warehouse fulfillment center. Now, I don't want that dude. And by the time you realize that good dude that you passed up, let's say you're in your 30s, because years go by, and you look back and you say, there ain't no good men out here. You've had plenty of opportunities to snag a good dude. And by the time you realize it, that good dude has been snagged up by who? Lupita, Nguyen, all the girls from the different cultures, and Cindy and all these other girls from different cultures, because they treated him right. So when I hear young women talk about there ain't no good men out there, there's plenty of good men out there. It's just that you did not value them at the time.
Yeah, and I'm going to push back on that one too, bro. I'm going to double down with you. And again, I'm freezing, but y'all can hear me. There's a lot of men, who say ain't no good women out there. It's like, yes, there are. There's plenty of good women out there. Sure. You don't want to be with her, though. You want to be with the woman who appears to be a good woman because she got it going on physically and all of that. But it's like she can't boil water to make you a hot dog. She can't pour milk in the cereal to make you a bowl of cereal. She can't do none of that stuff, but just be cute. And then
and spend your money.
Yeah, but like you said, to your homeboy that left his woman that had a little, physical thing going on because she had babies, he running around with all these tender, young, hot things that ain't put nothing hot on his plate ever. And he's sitting there reminiscing like, damn.
Yep, it's been a nightmare.
I had a woman who loved me. She would do anything for me. She made sure I was taken care of. And now I'm sitting up here with this silly thing, and she running my pockets. I'm putting babies up in her. And wow, why? Because it's like I said, it just takes a level of maturity to say, what's that song? By music, don't change. Just as long as your love don't change. He says you put on a little weight and all that other stuff, but that's okay, boo. Me and you gonna rock this to the wheels fall off. We ain't dealing with those type of people no more. We're dealing with people who are cosmetically fooled into thinking that you should be 99 years old with tits under your chin and a booty on your back. Yeah.
It's so sad because, if you look at our grandmothers nowadays, or at least in our age group, they don't look like that. They don't look like, some of them look really good for their age, but they don't look like that. They don't look like characters. But this is where a lot of our young women are going. And nothing against people that have tattoos. Demetra has tattoos. But what are those tattoos going to look like on some of those women that have it on their chest and stuff when they're in their 70s? What is that going to look like? Your skin's going to stretch because of gravity. That's not going to be pretty at all. And now people are putting it on their face. It's crazy.
That rainbow going to look like a slinky. Okay.
Right. You know what I mean? But in summary of all of this, everybody has options. It doesn't have to be monetarily. And, just because you have multiple babies, baby daddies, and or you're a man that has multiple baby mamas, doesn't mean, speaking of guys that have multiple baby mamas, look at all these guys that have multiple baby mamas and still marry who they want at the end of the day. They had options. I don't want to deal with this one, this one, this one, this one, but they ended up with this one that they wanted and they stayed with that. In regards to sisters, I know you guys have a lot of chip on your shoulder. You guys are very cautious, and you should be, especially if a man has dogged you out and all this other stuff and didn't hold his word. I understand that. But don't down yourself because you think that you will never get married. You will get married if that is what you want to do. And if you keep attracting the same type of man to yourself, not saying this as a negative, but you are what you attract. So maybe you might need to change a few things about yourself to attract the man that you really want to get with. Because I have a friend right now, and me and Demetra have a mutual friend right now. This woman has 6 children. And I will tell you, not that I would get with her, but let's say if I had to get with her, I wouldn't have a problem doing it because she's a good woman. She's a good woman.
Y'all hear that, Manosphere? 6 children, and Donovan says, I would do it. I would do it today. So I just think it's at the end of the day, it's about personal preferences. I do have preferences when I'm dating men physically. I won't get into any of that because some people will say that's just kind of shallow, but it's me. It's my preference. Nothing major depending on who you are.
Yeah, you just got to have $500,000 in the bank plus 401k options plus military benefits.
It ain't even all of that. It's just, some people will say it's shallow. Let's put it this way. No, I won't. Yeah, let's put it this way, since we're being honest, okay? Some women say, and some men, it's not about the size of the wave or whatever. It's about the motion in the ocean.
Not the size of the wave, but the motion in the ocean.
And I'm like, that's a lie from the pit of hell, goddammit, okay? And I'm going to leave it at that, okay? I'm just going to leave it at that.
Demetra says she wants a Titanic.
I ain't say all of that. I ain't trying to have my insides rearranged now. But what I am saying is, I don't want to think about filing my nails. Like, oh, what's for dinner? He's still. I
got groceries tomorrow. Let me make the list now.
Yeah, talking about you still at it? I'm just saying, some people say that's shallow, but I just think, it just is because I think.
Well, like I said, you want to be happy too. You have every right to be happy. And if that's one of the things that make you happy, but here's my question for you. How do you vet something like that?
Once.
I remember you had a client that used to wear a certain size pants, and you could kind of see.
Oh yeah, you did. Wait, and this dude was an older cat too. He was my client, and y'all know how we're gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna try to say this, Daddy. If you, please turn
them old 70s pants,
70s, how back in the day the men they would say, man, you a lefty or a righty. They wasn't talking about your hands, right?
Those old pimp pants,
The polyester joints that they used to wear, and you can see a man's sock, put it that way, or and so one of my clients, it was like, you purposely wear your pants that tight? We can see all your sock, but the women just went crazy, like, oh, he's sexy. And I'm like, this man is, he got one foot on the grave and one on the banana peel. What is sexy? Like, he's old. You know what I mean? But these women were younger than me. Oh, he's sexy. Oh, I said, it's the sock. Because if we believe what that print in his pants, he balling, like literally, so he was just a client, wasn't, I didn't,
I just remember that, that this came in my mind when you said that. I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, come on, man, that got to hurt. That got to hurt.
And he has always had a girlfriend. Always has had a girlfriend.
No kidding. I see why. Maybe that's what y'all men should do, though. While we, all jokes aside, go back to that so we can say, yeah, I'll go out on a date with them. Yeah, why not? That way we know we ain't wasting our time.
Yeah, well, I was in the Seychelles. I mean, the white women were flocking to me when I was in my Speedos.
Correction, brother. They was flocking to that sock. Okay? It was
always pack your Speedos with a nice round sock. I always do that.
It was the flock to the sock. That's what it was, but whatever you got to do, Donovan, whatever you got to do. But know that, fellas, when they flock to the sock, know that eventually you won't be able to use that sock. And the moment of truth will determine what happens. Just like for women, y'all say the same thing. Y'all meet us in the club. We got the waist trainer on that's squeezing all of our ribs together. And we've got, like you said, the bat wing eyelashes and the wigs and the booty pads and all of that. And get to the house. And it's like, now I know damn well I didn't bring.
Who was this?
Yeah.
Who are you?
I know damn well I didn't bring Rasputia to the house. I thought I was talking to Halle Berry in the club. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and with that being said, y'all, we're going to get out of here being foolish. At this point, I probably got myself in some trouble with that last 5 minutes. But, you know, it is what it is. But so we'll be back with the Wealth Wednesdays with Walter. He is back in the country. We are all back in our seats now. Donovan was gone for about 3 weeks. Walter was gone for a little less than that. You know, so we're back and we're back in the full swing of things. But if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Think about becoming a member. We'd love to have you here. We have Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. If you would love to donate to the channel, we would love and appreciate you for that. But in the meantime, be blessed and have a great day. Peace.